Well, hello there and welcome. You are listening to the Kindness Matters podcast, and I am your host, Mike Rathbun. What is this podcast all about? It's about kindness. It's a pushback against everything negative that we see in the news and on social media today, and it's a way to highlight people, organizations that are simply striving to make their little corner of the world a little better place. If you want to join in on the conversation, feel free. Go ahead and follow us on all of your social media feeds. We're on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. We're even on LinkedIn under Mike Rathbun. Check us out. And in the meantime, so sit back, relax, enjoy, and we'll get into the Kindness Matters podcast. Hey, welcome to the show, everybody. This is so cool. This is a cool story, and I'm sure you'll agree once you hear it. My guest today is Connor Wright, and Connor did something. Well, first of all, hi, Connor.
Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. Thanks for being here. It's an honor, really. You did something, and I'm sure you get this all the time, right? But you were 12 years old when you started this amazing, and it wasn't a nonprofit then, but when you started it, it was the middle of the pandemic, and you said, what? I want to bring joy to people.
Exactly. Yeah.
So you started, now was it always called Connor's Kindness Project?
Yeah, so originally when we were first doing our branding, that's kind of after we did a lot of our projects, we named it Connor's Kindness Project. But originally, like you said, it wasn't really a nonprofit. It was more just me and some of my family members, specifically my grandmother, doing projects throughout the community. And that was things like doing baskets for nurses and helping out the police department and fire department and doing some work with some other nonprofits. And that was before everything really started. And then through doing that, we kind of evolved into that real nonprofit. And that's when we sort of branded as Connor's Kindness Project.
Cool. So now when you first started, this was just for kids, right? For other kids, because it was the pandemic.
It was mostly kids. That being said, we did do some other things with some adults, like I said, nurses and the fire and police departments in our local community. But it was mostly kids.
Okay. And what were the? I've seen pictures of them. It was like little boxes, right?
Mm-hmm. The first thing that we ever did was our COVID care package. It was a little bag, yellow bag with red stickers, said COVID care package, and just filled with little toys, nothing too crazy. And we would drive around delivering those to kids that were stuck at home quarantining, and that was just really the first thing that we did and marked the start of our nonprofit. But it's pretty cool how far we've come looking at those and now looking at our kindness kits. It's quite a big difference.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, in 4 years, you went from a kid, 12-year-old kid, making COVID care packages to like an official nonprofit. Do you ever look back on it and go, wow?
I do, all the time. I'm like, how do we end up with this? I mean, I was, like you said, I was really young, 12, and obviously couldn't have done it without the people around us, like my grandmother and my mom helping out, and now all of our board members and volunteers. But we never, even them, we never expected this to turn into something that we have now. And like I said, it was just two projects a month, maybe one, just doing what we could to help our community, and we really liked what we were doing, and doing that work with some other nonprofits really inspired us to do something that we could call our own, and here we are. So,
wow,
definitely all just happened pretty fast, and definitely a wow.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, it's definitely like something I look back and say, wow, yeah,
for sure. So, how did you find these kids that were like stuck in quarantine and you thought could need a little pick me up?
Yeah, like after the point where we decided we were going to do something and came up with the COVID care package, it was just my mom and my grandmother's like Facebook accounts just reaching out. We're making these baskets. Any kids are stuck at home quarantining, and you think this might help them help make them enjoy their time a little better in such a tough situation for some kids. We
Yeah.
we asked them to reach out to us, and we would just deliver them. And that was mostly in our town to start, and we went a couple towns over, but it was a really small project, but we were just trying to do what we could.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, for sure. And you would pack these little packages. I saw a news report they did on you, your local CBS affiliate there, and there was like an etch a sketch, like little tiny etch a sketches and snacks and stuff.
Yeah, we did have the COVID care package. They did. I don't think they had the Etch a Sketch. That's more of our kindness kit. They fe-
Okay.
they featured more like just trinkets and fidget toys and just something that might help a distract a kid. And I think maybe there was a couple times where we did drop off like some candy maybe to kids on it. But it was
Okay.
definitely a lot smaller than our kindness kits, and I'm sure I'll talk more about that shortly.
Yeah, I'm sure we will.
Yeah,
So did you fund this all yourself?
I
Where did
did.
you? Go ahead.
It was all like self funded. Me and my family. My grandmother did have before the pandemic a children's yoga business, and she implemented a lot of crafts and activities to her classes. So she had a lot of stuff laying around that we could use. So it mostly up came out of that to start, and then it was us like buying small, not nothing too expensive, but it was out of pocket and just doing. And yeah, we would just buy items from anywhere we could and put them together. So yeah,
This is so cool. So this was kind of a family thing, right?
yeah,
And I don't know any 12-year-olds, I don't think, that would go, hey, there's some kids that need cheering up. I'm going to take care of that. But I mean, you must have had a lot of support from your family.
hmm
Your family must be big into giving back.
yeah, definitely. From a young age, I've always been giving back. My mom is really focused on that. I did a lot of volunteering at a young age with her, and that just kind of. And when the pandemic came around, I noticed a lot of kids needed help, and having that background in volunteering and community service is kind of what gave me that option to help others.
Oh, for sure. I can. I say that a lot. I just noticed it. So the pandemic kind of wraps up, and you keep going with this thing. Talk to me about some of the other. I mean, you were talking about the nurses and the fire. Was it the fire department
Mhm.
and the police department? You guys were doing.
Yeah.
How did that just snowball into something bigger, or?
Yeah, it kind of like I said, it was a lot based on let's do one or two projects a month, and I'm really emphasizing that. But that's how we started, and then we were like, we're doing stuff in our community, it's great, but can we make this a little bigger? So we researched some other nonprofits and picked out two to help. One, Katie's Closet, and the other, Birthday Wishes. And seeing what they were doing and the impact they were having on their community after starting from something really small and growing into
Sure.
something that was having massive effects on the community and really helping a lot of people. That's what really inspired us and kind of snowballed us into creating our nonprofit. And from there that was the point we wanted. We were like, it'd be really cool to start something like this and do something that we could call our own.
Oh, yeah, I'll bet. And so now, okay, because there are several pieces to this. To Connor's Con, I almost screwed that up. Connor's Kindness Project just rolls off the tongue. Um, so there's the kindness package, right?
Mm.
And where does that go out to? Anybody that needs
Yeah,
it, or?
we have our kindness kit that was the first thing we came up with, and we've stuck with that. It's our red box filled with all sorts of toys, fidget toys, a couple like kind of educational, fun stuff, and a bunch of just toys that kids would like to play with and might distract them, and that goes out to kids in hospitals and shelters all around New England. We're actually in about 50 locations and have done pretty much 10,000 of them so far in about 2.5 years. So
Wow, 10,000!
10,000,
Holy crap!
yeah.
Wow. Okay, so that's one aspect of it. What are some of the other aspects of the project?
Yeah, so it was the kindness kit's going well and all, but we wanted to do more. We wanted to expand our reach and develop some other branches to our nonprofit. So just kind of discussing with our board members and me and my grandmother and my mom, we came up with the idea of doing a kids kindness club. And like I said, I started having a background in community service, and my mom guiding me to help other people. And I started from my parents teaching me, and I really had a group of supporters that guided me in the right way and allowed me to start something similar. So we were like, if that's how I started, what if we taught kids about community service, have them do some acts? Maybe that will inspire kids to do more and be better members of their community. So we came up with the idea of the Kids Kindness Club, in really young kids, elementary school age. And what we're doing now is we go into the schools, have an assembly, talk to them about what we do, what does it mean to be kind, give them some examples of some kind acts, and we have them complete 20 or 30 in about a month or two. So, and then after, we'll give them a certificate of kindness and some stickers, and we give the school some stuff as well for participating. But I think having these kids do this and encouraging them and showing them the way, like showing them how they can be better members of the community. One of the things that we believe is kind of spreads like a ripple effect. So if we do that, then it will kind of snowball like what happened with us. And
You're just like creating a whole new generation of you.
Exactly. not exactly what we're trying to do, but we're trying to just.
Well, yeah, I know, but I mean, when these kids, I think, and it's just my opinion, which that and $4 will buy you a cup of coffee. When these kids receive that kindness, right? That stays with them.
Exactly.
And they will grow up, hopefully, and have kids of their own, maybe, and they'll pass that lesson on to them. And it's just, you're right, though, it does ripple.
Yeah, I mean, we think, well, I know that if you implement kindness into your life at a young age, it will definitely stay, and that's what happened with me. So just showing them the way at a young age when they really don't know anything, and they're still young members of society, and teaching them how to be good members and help out their community and be nice to all their classmates and teachers and parents, that will stay with them and ripple into generations to come. So
yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
I did it again. So have you? And it's so funny to listen because you're 15, almost 16 right now.
Yeah, 15.
Okay. And you go, yeah, I've got board members. It's like, so, I mean, you've got an entire staff not working for you, working with you to make this happen. Did you ever see that happening when you first came up with the idea?
No, like I said, to start, there was no way. Like, this was a small thing that we were doing, and then, kind of got going, and we're going to start something. So I kind of saw it coming, but not having, my grandmother being a full-time employee as the executive director, a group of awesome board members, and the amount of volunteers that we have, it just never saw it happen. And definitely not, maybe in a while, but not in 2 years.
Right.
Point. Because we've grown quite a lot in 2 years. It's crazy.
So did any of your friends from school go, hey, how can I get on that?
Yeah, I've had a couple kids reach out now. I'm a sophomore, so we're starting to think more about colleges, and kids need hours. So my friends know that I do this, and they're like, oh, let me help out. It'll be good. So, but yeah, that's a lot of our volunteers are teens looking for hours, and they're very helpful to us, so we appreciate them.
Yeah, for sure. And, well, I mean, this is going to look awesome on a college application. I'm just saying.
Yeah, it helps.
And you're a hockey player, right?
Yeah, I play hockey too.
the Minnesota Golden Gophers, the University of Minnesota, always has this. It seems like they've got this rivalry with Boston College. It's like they're always in the Frozen Four.
Yeah.
Maybe you'll play here someday. I mean, not for Minnesota, but because you're back east. So
Yeah.
So now talk to me a little bit about your partnerships with these other organizations, because you've really gotten involved with some amazing Duncan Joy, for example. How did all that come about?
Yeah, Duncan's a big supporter, and it's just we've built a load of connections to this point. So we had, So I think we connected with Duncan, just asking them. I think it was through a grant.
Oh, sure.
And they have been great supporters ever since. They give us gift cards for our essentials kits that we put in there, so they're awesome. And then also Five Below. We actually originally, that's kind of how we got started. We were buying Five Below products, so it's cool to think that now we're getting like a Five Below grant, and they're big supporters of us. So it's cool.
Nice. And there was a huge one for you, right? Was the Myra Craft Charitable Foundation. Talk about that one.
I did get an award recently for Myra Craft. Got nominated for that, and actually I was one of, I think it was 26 that got the award from the greater Boston area, and that was pretty cool. We got to go to the Gillette Stadium and have a ceremony, and I was actually the youngest one there, so it was pretty cool just getting honored for something that I've done. And it was,
Have you ever been to a Pats game? Have you been to Gillette Stadium?
A couple times, yeah.
Okay. But you were like on the field or what?
I wasn't on the field. I was like up in there's the private club area. It was nice. Mr. Kraft was there, so I got to meet him.
Oh, was he? Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, it's a great guy.
Was Brady still playing there?
No,
when that happened?
It was this year. This was this past year.
Yeah. I was going to say, with the Duncan project, did you get to meet Ben Affleck?
No.
Damn it. Oh, well. But yeah, I mean, all of these foundations, because you make connections, right? You guys, your foundation makes connections, these corporate connections, and those are really valuable to you guys.
Yeah, that's what it's all about. Building these connections, getting the word out there, and getting more donations so we can do more. So
yeah.
That's what it's all about.
So any big plans for the future as far as the foundation or the project?
Yeah. We always say our big plan is to go national across the country with our kits and with our kindness club. Something that was cool is we actually had a virtual club assembly, and we had a school out in Idaho participate in the kindness club. So we're branching out that way, but it would be cool to have a sustained impact all around the country, and that's something that's been our goal for a while. I don't know when that's going to happen. We're going to keep growing at a steady pace, but that'd be awesome.
Yeah, for sure. Dang it, there I go again. Yeah, absolutely.
There we go.
Just so amazing and so inspiring, Connor. I seriously, I look up to you, and I know you probably hear this all the time, but you are a good example for all kids across this country.
Thank you.
And I wish you guys so much good luck.
Appreciate it.
I appreciate you coming on and taking the time. I know you're in school, and yet you found time for this thing.
Yep.
So I do appreciate that.
Yeah, and I will say I definitely missed some things. So everything's.
Oh, please, yeah.
No, like I covered most of it, but if there's anything, like if people want to do more research on us and see more, everything is on our website. We do a very informative website, connorskindnessproject.org, and everything about us will be there. And
yeah.
Any press we've received is on there, so we did a good job with that. And if you want to donate, there is a link there as well. So.
And that will all be in the show notes, so everybody can find it. If you're listening and you haven't looked through the show notes, go ahead and check it out. Connor's website is in there, Connor's Kindness Project, and we'll have links for donations and probably your social links too.
Yeah,
You're on Instagram.
We're on everything.
You're on everything. IG, TikTok, you
Facebook,
name it.
TikTok. We're looking for followers, so that'd be big.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Go follow Connor's Kindness Project and get involved. And maybe you can open up a chapter in your hometown. That would be awesome.
That's the goal.
Connor, thank you so much for your time. I really do appreciate it. And best of luck to you guys, man.
Yeah. Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate this opportunity.
You're very welcome. I want to thank you for taking this time to listen to this episode with my guest, Connor Wright. I hope you were able to take something positive from the time that you spent with me. Maybe you'll be inspired. Maybe you'll be motivated. Maybe you'll be moved. If you experienced any of those positive feelings, please consider sharing this podcast with your friends and family. Also, feel free to follow us on our socials like Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and TikTok. This podcast is a part of the Mayday Media Network. If you have an idea for a podcast and need some production assistance, or have a podcast and are looking for a supportive network to join, check out MaydayMediaNetwork.com and check out the many different shows like Afrocentric, Spoil My Movie, Generation Mixtape, In a Pickle Radio Show, Wake Up and Dream with D. Anthony Palin, and Stacks O'Pax. We'll be back again next week with a new episode, and we would be honored if you would join us. You've been listening to the Kindness Matters podcast. I am your host, Mike Rathman. Have a fantastic week.